Well, hello my friends, welcome back to another video. Nice to see you there in my soup pot because you know, it is officially entering soup season as we enter fall. And I thought what better way to kick off fall with a really simple tomato soup, because like probably some of you have a surplus of tomatoes still and are trying to figure out what to do with them before they go bad. So we're gonna make tomato soup. So let's get into that. Before we get started, I just would like to say hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and welcome to my kitchen. I really hope you guys stick around to see this recipe, so let's get into it. All right, my friends, like I said, we are making tomato soup with all of the leftover cherry tomatoes that are really on the cusp of going bad here in my house. And really what we're gonna do is we're gonna roast our cherry tomatoes along with some onions and garlic, a little bit of seasoning, and then blend it all together with my secret ingredient to bulk up the protein content of this meal, some cannellini beans. So let's get into it. First things first, we're gonna preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Then while our oven is preheating, we'll prepare our vegetables and our pan. I'm gonna use about a 9x13 baking dish. Add just a little drizzle of olive oil in the bottom, followed by my tomatoes. For this recipe, I'm using about 625 grams. That's just all the tomatoes that I had in my garden at the moment. One large yellow onion, just kind of cut it roughly and then toss it in there. And then some garlic, whatever your heart desires. I would say at least 3 to 5 cloves of garlic. And then after all that is in our pan, we're gonna add in the rest of our olive oil, which is gonna be like 3 to 4 tablespoons, depending on your taste, followed by 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You can just sprinkle that right on top. About 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, you can just sprinkle that right on top of everything here. And then about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I prefer to use cracked black pepper, another thing that I measure with my heart, but you do you, boo. Start with 1/4 teaspoon. You could always add more after the roasting process. Now that our veggies are seasoned, we're gonna pop those into the 400-degree oven and roast these for about 20 to 30 minutes until the tomatoes have blistered. Right, so this has been roasting in the oven for 30 minutes and the tomatoes are starting to blister. If you wanted a little more char, you could leave it in for a little bit longer, but I think that this is good. So we are gonna transfer this into a pot, add the rest of our ingredients and blend it up. All right, so we have our Dutch oven heating up on the stove here on a medium heat, and then we are just going to very carefully pour the hot roasty contents of our pan into our soup pot. Whew. Almost lost her there. And to our tomato mixture, we're gonna add 1 can of drained and rinsed cannellini beans and 2 cups of vegetable broth, which I just made by adding 2 cups of hot water into a jar with 1 veggie bouillon cube. And then we're just gonna give this a few minutes to heat through, allow it to come to a simmer. And then we could blend the soup a couple of different ways. The first way is you could take everything straight out of the pan into a blender and blend that at high speed. Just make sure you take the top off so it can vent and cover it with a towel. Don't mind my dogs in the background here. Or the shortcut way, which is what we're doing today, a little bit more accessible, is we're gonna be using an immersion blender so that way we can plug it in and blend everything right into the pot. You can do it whichever way you choose. It will probably get a little bit smoother if you use the high-speed blender, but we're gonna make it easy today. So now that we see we have some bubbles going, it's been maybe like 3 to 5 minutes. We are going to turn the heat down all the way to low and blend this baby up. Now you could see, after a little bit of elbow grease, due to our immersion blender, our soup is nice and smooth. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer and just have it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes just to kind of thicken up a little bit more now that everything is blended, allowing the flavors to fully meld together. All right, and as you can see, we are up to a simmer. Just give it a good stir. And it's been like this for just a few minutes, so we can go ahead and turn it off the heat and serve. So our very last step is to add a little bit of garnish, which is gonna be some fresh basil. In our case, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. And last but not least, a little drizzle of olive oil. Enjoy. So there we have it, folks, a quick and easy roasted tomato soup. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you liked this video and the content I'm creating, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.